Welcome to Steve 87th, Puget Sound and Pacific Railroad.
Hi everyone, this is Steve 87th PSAP Railroad, or Puget Sound and Pacific. This is my channel, and I just wanted to invite you guys to come along and watch as I build my railroad, build up some kits, do some kit bashing, and running trains like the one behind me. So if this is what you guys like to watch, stick around for a while and see if you like the channel.
Hey everybody, Steve 87th here. Just wanted to give you guys one of the entry photos that I sent in. However, after watching the Walthers release and all that kind of stuff, I found out that I didn't even come in as a semifinalist. So that was kind of a little discerning, but I mean, I looked at everything that I did and the comments that you guys had, and I'm really, really proud of everything that I did and all the work that it was accomplished on this one. It still has some ways, it still has a couple of things that I have to do to this, but I'm pretty happy with it. So, yeah, whatever with the Walters thing. Maybe next year, who knows? But anyway, so from this, I just decided I wanted to kind of catch you guys up since it's been a little while since I posted anything. I had a visitor. He came into the Seattle area. He pulled in at a truck stop down in Kent and all that kind of stuff, and we hooked up and went around town in Seattle and all that. He probably will post a video of it later, but yeah, it's Container Man 68, and that's Roy standing there next to his truck. Told Roy I'd be his Uber driver for a little bit, so we went up to Seattle from Kent, which is south of Seattle, and met up with Nancy from her channel over there, the Rio Grande Pacific Durango, I forget, it's really long, but anyway, so we met her in downtown Seattle. And then we came in and stopped by and saw her train layout for a little bit and talked with her and all, spent a couple of hours with her. We went down to the Space Needle and so forth. I didn't take too many pictures, you can see, but Roy probably has, and he'll post them, I'm sure, as soon as he can. So my latest project that I've been working on is the U.S. Postal Service. Okay, this is Steve 87th. Hey, I'm just here with my latest endeavor that I've decided to go do, that I've been wanting to do for quite a few years. I made my fleet of postal trucks, which I'm going to kind of review and tell you kind of what I did. I don't have video. I don't even have very many pictures of how I did this, but it's fairly basic. But I wanted to give you guys some information on these. First of all, I wanted to tell you guys that these all came, most of them came from Custom Model Creations. Okay, so the ones that did come from Custom Model Creations that I know of are this one and this one, which is actually two of them. So these two came from Custom Model Creations. This one over here is a Bush car from Bush, and it's a postal police, the postal inspector for the U.S. Post Office. And then, of course, I've got the Athearn series that I've got in New York. I think I've got another one. And then this is a Walthers truck. Basically, you can still get these two. It's just a 40-foot van with the U.S. postage. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about these, and we're going to talk about these. So all of these trucks, all of the postal carrier cars are 3D printed, okay? So all four of these I got from Shapeways, and this one I actually got off of eBay from Custom Model Creations. Now the other nice thing that Custom Model Creations does is he also provides, or you can get as separately, the decals that go on there. I'll give you a better shot of the decals in a couple of minutes. Okay, so this one is a little bit different from these two, and I'll tell you why. This one is a one-piece Jeep set. You can see it came pretty good. All right, so I got the stripe a little off. And I'll tell you some of the things that I did. You can see that I got the lights on the back, painted it white, got lights on the front. This came with mirrors, the doors open. I put some packages in the back, some mail rack packages in the back of it to make it look like kind of a good truck. Okay, painted the interior seats and all that. Did not put windows in. This doesn't come with windows. Haven't really found a good way to put those in yet, so I'm leaving those alone, except for the tinier windows. I put some crystal clear in there. some Microsoft crystal clear, and you can see that that is actually sort of a window. Okay. Now, this one is the latest from Custom Model Creations. All right, you can see there. And this is a two-piece design. So you can take the bottom off, which gives you access to the seat that's in there. Let's see if you can see that. There's a black seat that's kind of in there. And can give you kind of access to the shelf, although the shelf is molded to the other portion of it. Now, the nice thing about this particular model is that the wheels do roll on it. They actually allow you to move it, okay? This truck doesn't work that way. My wife broke the front wheels on it, so it doesn't spin. The back wheel spins, but the front wheel doesn't, okay? But it's a hollow model. The nice thing is it doesn't show you the back compartment, so you don't have to worry about trying to do anything into there. Very nicely detailed. Lights are really good, really easy to get on there. You can see some tail details, the latch and stuff like that. That's on the truck. So very, very well done. The only thing that kind of is bad is this big line across it. I should have filled that in, but I thought that was part of the truck, but then I found out afterwards it's not. But you can see he's got the mirrors on the sides and the mirrors on the back, just like they're supposed to be, gas tank and all, and even has the hazard lights on the side and all that. So overall, really, really a nice model. Okay. This was another model that I got off of Shapeways. It's also a two-piece. The wheels don't move, but you can see in here, you can see all the way to the back of the truck. Very, very lightly detailed on the inside. Again, it doesn't have a window. The detailing on the outside is okay. Not as crisp as the last one I just showed you. And the lights are all right, but they're just almost a little bit too small to almost even paint. I used micro brushes on that and still had a really hard time on it. Okay, then we have another one, which I believe this is the first generation from Custom Model Creations, which I got a while ago. You can see this one's a solid. It has an interior hole, so therefore had to paint the windows, which I hate doing. This is actually done with a steel color. So it's going to have to be a background vehicle so that you can't see it. But not as detailed. It's got the side lights. Doesn't have any of the mirrors like the other one didn't from Shapeways. Doesn't have much on the rear detail, although the lights are a lot easier to get to and work with. Okay, so those are the ones that I did. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I did some of the things I did to it. And of course, obviously, I like to model cities and towns and all that kind of stuff. So if you're modeling American, you need to have a fleet of Postal trucks. And the good thing is those guys who are doing like the 80s, early 90s and all that kind of stuff, he does have the Jeep. So that works out really well. For people doing more modern ones, he makes these. So let me get you some more information, and we'll talk about these a little bit more and how I did them and finished them. Yep, so I didn't do the whole build on this. I'm going to show you guys a bunch of still photos and things like that and some others. But here is my popsicle set of mail trucks getting ready for their coat of spray lacquer on it to keep all these decals on. Okay, so I'm not going to film that either because who knows what's going to happen with the lacquer. You guys know it's spray paint, so who knows where it's going to go. So how to find some of these cars? Well, if you go to Shapeways, you can put in USPS 187 and you'll get a whole list of cars that come up. The one that's just down there on the bottom section there, that USPS by Bob's Miniatures, is similar to the second one that I got off of there. And then the first one, the Grumman one, built by 3D Modeling, that's more of a solid one, but you can see it has a much bigger slope on it. So there's a variety of them that are in there. They're in the $15 to $20 range or so. And that's the Shapeways. Plus you can get mailboxes and things like that if you want to. The thing that I don't like about the Shapeways is exactly the medium that they're using on the plastic. It comes a little bit tougher and sometimes has some, it's not as flat and as flush as what Model Creations or Custom Model Creations is making right now from on his eBay site. So I've got the two set up here for custom model creations. You can see the Jeep, which is a one piece. It's actually got a very, very nice thing to it. All you got to do is clean this and then hit it with primer, and it's ready to start painting, which is really, really nice. Very, very good finish on it, decent detail and all that kind of stuff. The only problem is detailing the inside and trying to put windows in it. You're not going to be able to do it that well unless you put in outdoor windows, because it is only a one-piece build. This is not the mail truck that I bought, but this is the truck that it's exactly the truck that I got, but this is from Custom Model Creations on eBay, which again probably came out with a little bit of a better finish. You can see all the high details of all of the mirrors and things like that he has on it, and the double inside. Again, this would be really good, even though it's a $30 model. It doesn't take that much. Again, you just hit it with some primer white or some primer, doesn't matter what type of primer it is, or white, and then you could hit it with your white color, because all you need to do is hit white. The only other color I painted on this was flat black on the bottoms and on the little bit of the interior that you've got. The cool thing about mine, like I said, is it actually has the shelf on the inside portion of this so that you can actually put in mail or boxes or packages. And then because it's two-piece, you could also put in a mail carrier if you wanted to throw them inside the truck if it was going down the road or so. This is the other Shapeways one that I have that actually has the open back cab so that you can see into the back. It's a little bit different. The detail on it is pretty good, but it doesn't have all the mirrors and things like that. So I'm going to have to go back and try to figure out how to add those on too. And the wheels don't turn and all that. However, the chair is a little bit better in it, but it's not a bad price or a bad starter one if you want to go with that. And with it being hollow, it's easy to it's easy to paint the insides and the outsides. Again, this was primered for me, painted it white with a spray paint. Actually, this one I hand brushed and then did flat black on everything else on the bottom. And I just wanted to show you guys the decals that you can get from Custom Model Creations. The cool thing about this, he has 5 different sets of decals. Yeah, they're at like $4 a piece with $4 shipping, but if you get everything, he'll combine the shipping together and all that, like a lot of the people on eBay do. The nice thing about this is he's got 5 or 6 different sets, so you get actual different numbers for the postal cars. And you get these 2 sets of lines. You only need really one, but I guess he puts the other set in there for you just in case you messed it up. But this one set will actually wrap all the way around. On the Jeep, though, you have to do some cutting because it's a little bit smaller. The other problem with the Jeep is the actual pictures of the postal thing are a little bit too big for the Jeep. I actually had to get some older ones, which is why they've got the older pictures on them. That's the only thing that's bad about this decal set, is it doesn't really work for the Jeep postal car. It probably needs to be a little bit smaller. So Walthers Scene Masters also has a brand new, larger delivery van, but you'd see this more in a city, like, with Humanity Junction or something like that. If this was an N scale or something, this would be in New York City delivering to large apartment buildings and things, not so much in the rural area. That's why you still need the LLV, which is the long life vehicle, is what they call those little box trucks that we have. There's also another new model on the out there that I haven't seen yet of the LLV. And this is from Showcase Miniatures in HO scale. This appears to be a one-stop shop kit. It looks like, though, that your wheels may or may not move depending upon if you put axles in them and all that. But it looks like it has some more details in the metal section of it and all that. It does seem to have doors that'll slide, be in or out, and the back door, some detailing and all that. And plus, this one also comes with the decals already for it. So if you guys are into metal models, it's at a $24 price, and it comes with everything that you want. All right, so how did I actually do these 3D printed models? These are really simple. The first thing you want to do, make sure that you wash the model very thoroughly. I have an ultrasonic washer where I put in a little bit of Dawn dishwashing soap and do the ultrasonic wash on it, and it comes out fine. If not, I would take some Dawn and a toothbrush and just make sure that you get it cleaned up, because these do have a resin. They have a weird buildup that's on them on all the 3D printed things from when everything is done. Okay, so you can see here the front lights. The way that I did the front lights is I used a silver paint. Silver is really nice to be able to use for something like that. I also used it for the mirrors. Okay, you can see the round mirror in the front and the side mirror, they're all painted just silver. Now the lights are a different story. What I did on the back with the lights, and on the front and in some other places, I went ahead and used the flat black in the little square areas. Okay, yeah, they're not the perfect lights in the world, but hey, it's kind of like it's my model and I'm pretty happy with it, the way it came out, so I'm good with it. So you want to start off with a flat black. Once you finish with the flat black, that same silver that you used for the lights, you can use a silver or a chrome, something very shiny and metallic is really good. You want to put a little bit of the silver over top of the black. Now I put the black down first because if you actually see a mail truck, they actually have a black outline on most of all of their lights and all that you can see fairly well. So then I put the dab of silver on. Once I let the silver dry, then I use two Model Master products. Again, don't know if they've got them anymore, but you can find these in some other types of paints too. This is Stoplight Red Metallic, and it really shows up. And then the other color that I used is the Turn Signal Amber Metallic. And those are the two colors that you see. Now, I've done a lot of experimenting, and I've found that if I would have done that right to the black, they would not show as well as they are. That's why the black doesn't show up. If you just put it directly on the black, it doesn't show up as well. That's why I put the silver underneath it. That's what I've found for over the last couple of years. And then I put the metallic red color on there and the metallic yellow color on there. And that gives me that nice tone for, you can see here the marker lights. Got the marker light in the front. You can see that it's yellow, and even the turn signals are yellow in the front. But that's kind of it. Other than that, it's just getting the decals on. Now the decals, I want to tell you about them, right, since I have a set left. The decals, because this is a small truck, are really rather small. Here is a push pin, which you guys all know the size of that. So you can see how small some of the lettering is and the words. Okay, so I don't like using a hobby knife. Other people do, but what I've found that I like to use is these Tamiya Craft. It's a Tamiya Craft tools, but it's Tamiya Craft scissors. Very, very sharp, but they also give a really straight line, and you have a lot of control with this. I was able to cut very, very close to the red and blue without cutting it, because you've got to get really close on these decals because there isn't a lot of room. If you look at the numbers on the front, which you can actually see the numbers, there's not a lot of room on either side of that number for it to be there. So you got to make them small, and you got to make them cut rather finely. Okay, so the other thing that I like is another Tamiya product that I've got. This is a decal boat. This is awesome. Okay, so what you do is you put your water down in here, and then this is actually a fence. So you can see how fine that fence is, right? So you fill it up just so that once this is in the water will come through these little cracks, but not that much. And what's cool is with these tiny, tiny little decals that you got to put on, once you've got them soaked, you just push this up. It reaches it up out of the water. Okay, it comes up out of the water, and then your decal is basically in a dry state, and you're able to pick it up with the tweezers. The other thing that I like to use is I set most of my decals with a hobby knife. When I try to slide them off, I find that it's a lot easier to do than with a paintbrush, especially when it comes to these tiny, tiny things. So anyway, that's what I got. Just wanted to kind of show you guys what I've been doing for a little bit. And as you guys can see, they make a nice little layout addition for something that we always all see around and all that kind of stuff. And it looks like here, it looks like we got Roy delivering the postal trucks, one of the older postal trucks going by, the new trucks. And Oh, looks like Jerry Sattarelli sitting over there in front of the right over there next to Paul's Pizzeria. I don't know whether he's doing some rail fanning or not. I guess there is some trains behind there that he can look at and all. I got a feeling he's at the pizzeria though. Okay, so anyway, this is Steve87 saying thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good time modeling.